Hi YouTube. In follow-up to my last video on 5 signs that you're in an abusive relationship, I wanted to summarize 3 of the main signs that someone in your life, it may not be a romantic partner, it might actually be like a family member, someone who you are close friends with, or even like an aunt or uncle, a boss, anyone like that. How would you know that they are a toxic person? There are lots of things that can give away signs of a toxic person, and if you look anywhere online, you will find kind of different lists and ideas about what a toxic person might be. In my experience, all of these different factors that can make up a toxic person fall under 3 main categories, or clusters as I like to call them, of kind of behavior or action. So the first kind of behavior group that really would show you that maybe someone is a toxic person in your life is that everything is about them. So this means conversations, situations, anything like that becomes about them, even when it might not be. These kind of people might kind of reply on their own time to you. They may give you the answers they want. They'll expect you to be there for them when they need you, but if you need them, they won't be there for you in the same way. In some ways, they can be quite narcissistic in that they will hog conversations and make sure that the focus is always kind of back on them, or on ways that they have been wronged, or that others have maybe wronged them or done something to them. If it's nothing to do with that, it will be them kind of one-upping other people, or wanting to be just the focus of attention in a conversation. The other way that they work conversationally is that they will not apologize for behavior. They won't apologize for hogging conversation, and they don't really feel bad about it. They will also keep you on your toes about what version of them you're going to get that day. So they might be a person who's quite unpredictable in their behavior, and in that sense it's still about them because they are kind of not really being truthful or honest with you, and keeping you on edge in order to maintain control in the relationship. Number 2 is kind of a big one. If you are around someone who constantly attracts drama, and that can mean kind of chaos, conflict, or any other kind of unpredictable environment all the time, then you might have a friend or a boss or a partner or a family member who is a toxic person. One way you can tell this is usually this person is mad at someone. They're usually blaming or externalizing how they're feeling onto someone else. They will love and rely on when you have bad times, but if there's a good time or a positive time and things are going well for you, you will not find them anywhere to be found. They are usually quite jealous, and I like to say jealous as well as judgmental. So if someone you know has a really positive thing going on in their life, or something really great has happened for you, this person will not be happy for you. They will be jealous, and they also might be quite judgmental. So they will try and point out everything that might be wrong with the situation. They'll try and kind of put you down in subtle ways. Sometimes they're more overt ways as well, but they do not like to see you succeed. If, however, you have something terrible happen, you will always find them there. And that's how you know that they're kind of this jealous, judgmental type, because they thrive on other people failing. Another way that they might attract drama is focusing on irrelevant details. So they may focus on like specific words that you use, or they may focus on a tone that someone's spoken rather than the actual message that they're trying to convey. So in this way, they try and distract from their own responsibility for things and create drama in conversation and by deflecting blame. They will also quite often exaggerate situations or exaggerate the behavior of other people. And this is a concerning one as well, because when someone exaggerates all the time, it's hard to know when they're being truthful, and this does create conflict in other ways between other people in their lives. Number 3 is that they might be emotional vampires. That sounds like a really kind of morbid term, but that is the term I use to describe toxic people. So if you're around these people quite often, you will feel like all of the energy and emotion that you have has been sucked out of you. Because of the first two behaviors, like the drama and just the narcissism that these people have, you will often feel exhausted because they really just don't care about your needs, and they just take and take from you until you can give no more. These people generally are not confident in themselves, and so they're always pessimistic. It might be the person that you can think of in your life who always has something negative to say, who only ever kind of focuses on the negative possible outcomes or consequences, and they never can just like be positive about a situation. These types of people won't compliment you, or they will find it very hard to compliment you. They might give what you call a backhanded compliment, which isn't really a compliment at all in my opinion. These people bring you and other people down because they already feel like they are beneath you, or they feel like they are not good enough, so they want you to feel the same way. And you'll recognize this in your life if you've been around someone and you just feel kind of down on yourself, you feel like the things you're doing in your life are not, don't have a purpose, or you don't feel very successful after you've spent time with them. That's one way you can tell that you have been around a toxic person who is also an emotional vampire. And the last way that they might kind of take away your emotional energy is that they really just don't hear no. They don't respect boundaries, and it can be exhausting trying to please or keep up with or constantly pander to the needs of someone who is a toxic person and who also may have like a narcissistic personality disorder or some other kind of undiagnosed mental health issue. So a lot of people ask me, well, what do you do if you are around a toxic person? Well, I think the first important thing is to really look at these three clusters of behavior and criteria and see if this person meets those criteria, and if you can think of someone in your life who does, the likelihood is that they may be a toxic person. Now, you can't always choose not to be around a toxic person, so it's not as simple as isolating yourself from them, although limiting some of your contact with them might be your first step that you can take to kind of protect yourself from this type of behavior. If it's someone that you don't have really much choice about being around, it's important for you to at least know and identify, okay, this is a toxic person, or this is a person who is kind of bringing me down, and being aware of the effect that that person is having on you. The main way that I believe you can really deal with a toxic person is setting firm boundaries. So setting those boundaries in behavior. A toxic person will not respect boundaries, and they won't create them. So you have to be in charge of creating those boundaries. One way that you might want to do this is really bring attention to when they are being pessimistic only, when they are creating drama, not buying into those conversations. So not really participating in the drama that surrounds a toxic person is one way to really minimize the attention that they get for that drama. And this kind of ensures that you stay out of it, that they're not getting the response that they necessarily want from you, and so they learn the behavior that maybe you don't want to participate in this kind of negative conversation, or you aren't going to be someone that's going to give a reaction to them, so they will usually end up stopping doing that. Another way is that when they are taking over conversations and it's only about them, you can remind them of other people. You can also talk about the positives. You can talk about things that you look forward to, and ensure that you aren't letting them kind of dominate and control how you feel about situations. So I hope that this has helped identify and understand how best to deal with someone who might be toxic in your life. The main ones, like I say, are really setting boundaries and not letting them control your emotional response to things, because that's what they want to do. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope that you have a great week. Please follow and subscribe to my channel, and you can check out the links below for my social media.